Okay. Right. While we're here. Right, now. My phone, I sent £47 to Tamsin yesterday. Right. Today's the 22nd, right? So it went out on the 21st. So I sent money over to Tamsin's account yesterday. Right, okay, fair enough. Because, and then the problem is, when I sent money out to Tamsin's account, it didn't get sent. Oh, hang on. So when I sent money out to Tamsin's account for the gas bill, it didn't get sent. And then there's £2.66 missing. Now Tamsin can't log in on her phone. And I only have £7.34 in the account because now they want to take £2.6. I was in minus £2.66. But it said my credit was up by £24.82 when I made the purchase. And none of these bank statements are making any sense. Oh wait, no, 21st of August is there. My mistake. But that's account balance, not available balance. And then what they've done is they've come and took the money out of the account, which then is left me. Why can't banks keep up? Why can banks not keep up with stuff? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm about to fucking kick off over nothing then. Anyway, Tam's got to try and send me another £7.34 out of the gas money for the gas. And then I'm going to decide what I'm going to sell. I don't know whether to put my BMX on buyback. It's not even my BMX, it's Harvey's BMX to be fair. But I don't know whether to put it on buyback. So then I'm thinking, but I can't keep affording to buy things back to get on this educational course I want to go on. And it's getting really freaking annoying now. But yeah. But they always do it. They always do it. When you have plans, it's like they're listening to your device and then whatever. But yeah. So yeah, Tam's gonna try and send me the other £2.64. That gives me more time to then raise a tenner or find a tenner somewhere in the flat rather than freaking selling stuff that's part of my downtime. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I don't want to put his it sounds fiendish, doesn't it? Like it's what a crackhead does. Like sells their fucking kids' toys for for whatever it is they want to buy. But I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the thing. Yeah, there's another thing as well. So if I show you this picture, right? While we're talking about money, right? The job centre say they paid me X amount into my account, yet they didn't pay me the X amount into my account. And then now they sent me another message saying, hope this clears it up. And I'm like, oh no, because that money hasn't gone into my account. So I don't know where the fuck I stand. But I don't know. But I need to find the money somehow because it was go towards my education, obviously. Yeah, so anyway, it's alright, the money was there. It's just, why are bank transactions so slow? Why do they take so long to clear? Why can't they just clear instantly? Like if I send money to you now over my phone, then it will go straight into the account. Why does it take so long? But yeah, anyway, don't mean to waste your time on that video. I was just about to call the bank and find out what was going on. But yeah. Well, anyway, hopefully Tamsin's tablet can be logged in, because that's got something in it as well. Which is something else I need to make sure that it's recognised on the thing as a threat. But yeah. And just realised, you know, why many people want to go transgender. I think it has something to do with faith and faithful religion, whether it's New Testament or Old Testament. Because they say that Christ inherited the girls, right? And a lot of people want to go to Christ instead of going to God. And I wonder if that's the reason why that many of these people, they're airwaves and they think different. Maybe that's the reason why there's a lot of gender confusion, because they think different. Nothing to do with which then becomes a part of who they identify with faithfully. You know what I mean? Like who they identify with faithfully. It's probably why a lot of people are gender confused. Why some boys, some girls want to be men, because they go to different people. One goes to God, one goes to Christ. Right? Am I right in that? I'm just talking about stuff. Anyway, I'll ask my doctor. My doctor will know. My doctor will just tell me to shut the fuck up and forget about it. But I can't. These are things that do my head in. With gender and stuff like that. Like, people are making a big stink about, like, I can't help but think about that girl, Brianna, who just turned around and said, she just went like that when she was having a Snickers on a photo, because she was going to go turn and become, wanted to become a girl. I just think it's really sad. But I just wonder if that's what it is. Like, some boys want to be girls because they identify with Christ more and to have a father, and then some people prefer to God's will, which is, yeah, if you know what I mean. That's just what I think. See, Lottie, she twitches. She's not got a nervous disposition. That's why I need to have her a blood test. I don't know what was in her dog food. If anybody follows my Facebook page or sees my Facebook page, you will see what was put into the dog food, or might have been put into the dog food with the bump key, with the video I uploaded online of the people that I think done it. Oh, update. Yesterday I told you all that I called the police into relating investigation. I've turned around and said I'm going to take it from outside of the city. When I made the phone call, the police officer really wasn't that bothered. Right, was just like, well, harassment, we're not really bothered about it. We're not really bothered about your cyber crime or anything like that. So I've said to him, I'll take it out of the thing yet. So, reminder, your report, the crime number is 2300520737, not the incident number that I recorded. Following a primary investigation, your crime now has been allocated to an investigator. You'll be contacted as soon as an officer is available to discuss your case further. So it's section 2 of harassment without violence at the moment. But yeah, they are looking into it further, which is quite helpful. The moment I said I'll take it out to a different police force and a different jurisdiction, they seem to have sort of gone, okay, they are really doing his head in. But still haven't been replied to of cybercrime, to the fact that when my phone's I mean, you've seen it online when I've been playing on the computer and the PlayStation, I've been pressing the buttons on the controller properly, and it's an intermittent thing that comes up and says, oh, your controller might not work properly. Sometimes it works fine, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think that has anything to do with the controller, because you've seen yesterday on Resident Evil 1 how many people have played Resident Evil 1 and you shoot the target and you shoot the enemy and the enemy goes down with one bullet. Normally it takes 1 or 2 shotgun shells to take them out. So that was going to revolve to around 5 to 6, 7 pistol rounds.
I've sent you another 3.
Have you sent the other 3 quid through?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I reported it to the cybercrime department. Wait to see if we hear anything back from that report, and then if not, then we will have to take it out of Leicestershire's jurisdiction and take it to another jurisdiction within the country and have them investigate what's going on. And then if they further don't investigate it, we'll document the phone calls and document everything else. And if they don't, oh look, 1999, the world's first mobile internet service in Japan. I loved it. It's full of good stuff, this game. So yeah, my alarm decided to have a dicky fit last night. I didn't record it because my battery was flat. I went to set the alarm, it was all plugged in, everything was switched on. I scanned it, it said one of your devices has been disconnected from the server. Could I log into the server? No. I've got the right credentials, got the right telephone number, got the right password. I know because I set these up over the phone, and it just locked me out of the account. So something locked me outside the Verisure alarm account, and I couldn't log in. And it said there was something been disconnected. So what I had to do is I had to arm the alarm with the disconnection on, and then I had to go and open every single freaking window and door until the alarm decided to go off. Then I went back and then went to deactivate the alarm, and the fob started working straight away. So I know it has a listening device in there. So yeah, I'm going to go alarm shopping, and I'm going to find an alarm system that is hardwired, where it can be tracked and traced, and it has to have... Oh, I used to work at a pub then. I remember working that day serving Bucks Fizz. Bucks Fizz. Got a free glass of Bucks Fizz. But yeah, that's what we're going to have to do, and have an internal affairs look at it, and then report the cybercrime, and then report the Verisure. Verisure will have to explain the reason how their system's being hacked. Verisure will have to sort that out. Making it safer for you from burglary or anything like that, and for everybody else. But yeah, then the alarm decided to work, and then the alarm was deactivated. Dog needed to go out to the toilet for a walk, and then the alarm decided to set itself off. I've got the email for a secure alarm disconnection. I ain't talking no innuendos or double meanings. I don't do that kind of shit. I'd rather tell you straight up. Only cowards use innuendos and double meanings. So it went off at 4:44 this morning, and it took about a minute to turn off the alarm. If I try and log in, so I'm using my phone, because the Verisure app has an app in it. I cleared all the cookies out, so I cleared the cookies, cleared the cache and cleared the data, and then for some reason it wouldn't let me inspect what was going on. So as you can see, it's taken forever to load. I'm on 4G signal, I'm on a HSPDA, there we go, with 2 bars of coverage. I'm using an O2 network, So I'll put the password in, which Verisure gave me. And then you get this. You have forgotten your password or you cannot log in. I know what the password is, I'm not going to share the password with you, just in case it comes back on. So then I go to recover password, right? And then I put in, I forgot my password, put in my details, bear me a second. So the username is a mobile telephone number, which is really stupid. These security services are not security services at all. They are just con men selling you the idea of security even though you actually genuinely have them. And this is Securitas. So Securitas has been in the game for about 20 years. So I'm thinking about changing my alarm system to a different one. My code word was set by the provider to its standard. And then I put in a new password. I don't know, let's just put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 HA. And we'll do it again. Why is that not a valid password? At least 6 characters, 1 uppercase, let's not, okay, so, but we'll have a capital A at the back. We'll do the same again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 small h, capital A. I'm not a robot. How many things with traffic lights in it to make sure I'm not a machine. Verify. Passwords don't match. Yes, they do. Oh no, it's got 2 8s in it for some reason. Okay, so the passwords match. Send. Some of the data you have entered is incorrect. Please try again and remember that you only have 5 attempts left. So close the app. There's nothing I can do about it basically. I'm going to call Verisure now. Actually, we're going to call Verisure after we've dealt with my Learn Direct course, and then we're going to call them then, and then tell them that I'm going to rip out, because I think it's bugged, I'm going to just rip it all out and get a different alarm system put in. I do get phone calls from them when the alarm goes off. Fair enough, I haven't paid my subscription last month, but that's no reason to shut the app down, because that means they have control over my alarm system. And I did pay over, we did pay over £800 for the alarm system to be installed. So the equipment is mine, so is the alarm system. The only thing that you pay a subscription for is the monitoring. It's the only thing you pay the subscription for. So the alarm will still sound, they have no rights to it, they cannot do anything to it. But yeah. Right, anyway, gotta go and message this Learn Direct guy. I'm going to the bank again and then sort this out. So I'm going for all the proper channels. So I'm reporting it as cybercrime, I'm reporting it to the police, I'm sharing it online with you. The police have to do their job, the security service has to do their job, they have to do their job, because the Church of England have combined themselves and condemned themselves to upholding the law and the rights of the people. However, right now the rights of the people are being used against them, and the laws are being used against them at the same time. Or maybe it's the Catholics, I don't know. I know there's a Catholic down the road. Every time I pop up online, he jumps in his car and drives off. So So I don't know what they want or what they want from me, but now look, as you can see, my phone, oh no, now it's working. So if I have to show it to you, then it starts working. So anyway, let's log in. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So I no longer use the banking app because the banking app is so insecure for Natwest is unreal. So I have to use a card reader. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I am on the electoral register. So because I'm on the electoral register, it means I figured out you don't have to actually pay tax to be protected or to be looked after by the police and the government or anything like that. You just have to be on the electoral register. Because that's who a jury serves in court. To be on the jury, you have to be on the electoral register. And they're classed as your peers. So if you don't vote, then you do not technically have any peers. The only problem with that is if it's done by electoral register, the problem is if you're from a different constituency and they don't like you, then you have a problem.
Have you done on my phone?
Yeah, I didn't need it in the end. I found the payments.
Right, I'm going to go back and see why.
Alright. Oh my days, please review the following. I put the right code in, dumbass. Now it's asking me to put the same code in. I'm not reading the code out because then none of these cunts will get circled, won't they, knobhead? I think I am retarded. Well, I'm a little bit retarded, but not as retarded as what you think I am. One, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Oh shit, that's my PIN number. Not fucking code. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I say, I'm a law-abiding citizen. That for some reason they just really want to make shit hard. Come on, load already. Right, okay, now I can go and buy that course. Alright. Just give them this call. Recent. Shit. So Land Direct called me at 11:31, then he called me on his mobile number. So am I going to ask him to call back from the Land Direct number?
No call. The agent you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Hi there, Lawrence. Philip Robinson giving you a call back in regards to the £9.99 payment for the deposit, then to set up the direct debit of the 70 something pound a month to go ahead with my private educational course. Well, not private educational course, sounds rather posh, doesn't it? Well, private educational course to access the higher education course. Please can get back to me as soon as possible to conclude the transaction and to close on this, and to close on whatever you want to close on. I don't know all your patter, but I know some of it. But I'll speak to you later. Bye. Okay, so the guy's number is 07482867355. The original number he did try and call me on was 01202006464, and that did come up under let me just highlight that. Shit. That did come up as Learn Direct in there by the card reader, by the phone reader. Then, now the thing is though, I set up a callback yesterday, and I'm glad that I used the in-house chat on the website, because I did select callback for this mobile phone, because this mobile phone is the one that I'm using for most contacts and details and stuff, because it doesn't really have it does have a 4G signal, but I can do this with this one. So I can do that. You know what I mean? But it doesn't have like no Wi-Fi, I don't think, if I recall, because it has no Wi-Fi. Does have a mobile telephone signal, but because it's not, doesn't have Google Maps, it can still ping off satellites. It still does its job. I don't think it has. Let's have a look. Connections, Bluetooth data service, data roaming, network type. So yeah, there's 2G, 3G and 4G. I could change that to 2G because I don't really use the internet. So that's a slower internet connection anyway. Can I turn off data? Data is turned off. Airplane mode, profiles, security, pin lock, modify cell phone, back it up, power saving mode, online software update, and about the phone, so product info. And that's it really. Because some people just literally want a phone that uses only GSM, which is basically you call and receive texts. Do you know what I mean? It cannot be sort of like piggybacked or listened into unless someone gets a physical copy of the SIM card and does a SIM swap. For my YouTube content, I was trying to get my hands on a SIM swap device or find a SIM swap instruction manual and then show you all how a SIM swap is done. For example, if you got arrested by the police and the police took the SIM card out of your phone, copied the SIM card, then any text messages or calls that you receive will go through to them as well. It's a bit of a low jack method, but it's a very inconspicuous method and not many people can see it happening, as opposed to when it's been done by Wi-Fi and internet. If you disconnect the internet and stuff like that, then you should be alright. But anyway, I'm going to get going. If it gives me a call back, I'll let you know, and then I'm going to decide what game I'm going to get rid of to pay the rest of the bills. I've just made probably 5 kilograms of homemade dog food, chicken and veg mix, which was really good. And then I've got another mix to do with fish, and then I've got another mix to do with lean minced beef. So that should get me through till payday for the dog food, because Silas has just run out of dry dog food and I don't have anything to pay for the dog food for Silas. She's on this thingy diet because of her gastroenteritis, but other than that she's alright. Actually, I'll go get a tub and show it you. So I've frozen one and I've got one ready, so I'll show you my little crock pot with it all in. So in here we have, this was full, in here we have 5 kilos of chicken, 2 kilos of rice, and then 3 kilos of carrots. And then I've just blended it and whisked it all up. And if I show you her, she absolutely loves it. She cannot get enough of this food. Lottie, come here. Come here, baby. Oh dear. So I'm going to hold her up so you can see. Ready? She absolutely loves it. Silas loves it as well, so yeah. And I still have some leftovers. Like, I've still got a kilo of chicken for myself. And I've still got some carrots and whatever else for myself as well, and rice. So let's get this guy to call me back. Send him a text. Lottie, out the way. Out the way, babe. It's not dinner time in about half hour. So at the minute she's on 400 grams of food a day, 4 times a day. So she has 100 grams at a time. And yeah. But yeah, she's putting weight on nicely. She put on like half a kilo in 4 days. Yeah. So I've had to separate the two of them because she's getting boisterous and she's been learning Silas's ways. Well, yeah, I love you too. Yeah, I love you too. The reason why I named her Lottie is because it's short for Charlotte. So all the things I wanted to give to Charlotte and the way I wanted to raise Charlotte and the things I wanted to give her, I can do with her. Which is what heals the hole in the heart, you know what I mean? She's biting a little bit though. Yeah. Have a chew toy. But yeah, right, let's send him a text. Cool. Text message. Right. Add to contacts. Save the number. In case there's any issues. And then they can get me on the Smart Access course and whatever else. I have to pay £70-something a month though. It's better than my phone bill. I used to have an iPhone 13 on EE, which was stupidly diabolical. That I was paying, well, what was we paying, Lottie? We was paying £75 a month for the handset, and they was charging, like the amount of data, it's supposed to get something like 10 gig of data with the phone. I'd only use Facebook, right? Facebook only uses stuff like a few kilobytes of data, like 5 to 6 megabytes a day, easy, right? Unless you're playing games and you're constantly buying stuff, or you're constantly, because to load up a screen it only takes kilobytes, and a couple of megabytes doesn't take gigabytes. And then for some reason the data was going down and down and down, so I used to buy add-ons and data, so sometimes my phone bill would cost 120, 140 pounds, which is the reasons why I've gone on pay as you go, because I paid, by the time I ended the contract I'd paid the phone off twice, and then they offered me a new contract, and I was like, yeah, I'll have the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip Floor. They sent it out, and fuck me, man, it was hacked to fuck. I've tried to log in, it's creating email addresses for me, it's trying to tell me what to do. I've sent the fucking phone back and said I'm cancelling the contract. So I sent the phone back, cancelled the contract within my 30-day period. Oh, what can I say? Don't we? Yeah. But the thing is, BT are partnered with EE, so, you know. But yeah. So basically, like, people are like, well, Phil, where did all your money go? The same place it came from, basically. But I was single then, you know what I mean? So it was cheaper. I was in a hostel, my rent was like £40 a month. You got most of, like, you didn't get all your bills included, but you know, I'd only spend about 20-30 quid on food, which I wouldn't eat that often anyway, because I didn't eat that often. And then I paid my phone bill, ow! And then I would then, what would I do then? And then I'd pay my martial arts subscription, and that was my money gone, basically. Yeah. And then I'd put 20 quid a month away in James's bank account, or I'd buy Harvey his Christmas presents, or write Harvey's letters and buy James's stuff or Charlotte's stuff and whatever. Tell you what though, I still remember, Lottie, I still remember the day for Charlotte's first birthday. Or, yeah, her first birthday was at a contact centre, and Tamsin was in a one of those mother-baby units, but with a foster carer. So you know what the process is straight away. As soon as they turn around and tell you, right, we're going to put you in a foster placement with the thing, basically it's like you've got the chance to hand over your baby, or we just take your baby. Right, so you have no choice, because the moral thing to do is be there to help your daughter or your child to, do you know what I mean, make the transition to be uprooted. So you're actually helping them, believe it or not. So they use you to help them, but you have to do what's right by your child. Lottie, she's like, stop waving this hand about. Yeah, stop it. Yeah, I'm gonna. And then one day it was at a LAC review, and she came in with a pushchair with the foster carer, and the foster carer was pushing her in. And the first thing she did was look through the window, seen Tammy, and went, "Mum!" You know what I mean? She looked over and shouted, "Mum!" And they still, even though the child could see that the child loved her mum and was happy with the parents, they still removed her. That should have told you all, really, shouldn't it? Where was I? Ah, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. And the reason why I kept with the mobile phone contract was because I'd written my telephone number down on Charlotte's adoptive paperwork. And it was a pay-as-you-go number. So what they've done is they've called me and they've changed my telephone number to a contract number. So then they've got me and they're thinking. So basically all that money that I was paying for 3 years worth of contracts, mobile phone contracts, and all this money I'm paying for my internet connection is money towards my daughter, the way I see it. If you want to play it on this, then I'm roping them. But then I had to change the telephone number, but that's okay because I can write her a letter. I can write her a letter and then give her my new telephone number if she ever wants to know where I am and what she wants to do. Ow! But yeah, anyway, I was here on my own, right? And we didn't have much money. And I used to be judged quite a lot. Like, the local authority would look down in the nose at you like, oh, you're going to a charity shop to put your daughter in charity shop clothes. Well, yeah. She's not going anywhere. She's just playing about at the estate. She's going to a playgroup. She's not like getting dressed up for a wedding, or she's not going to a birthday party. She's not at a family gathering. She's not at a, you know what I mean? Right, and she's only a baby. She's under 3 years old. She's going to rapidly grow out of all of them clothes. I don't see the point in buying. Oi, Lottie. I don't see the point in buying all that stuff. Wait a second. Hello. Am I speaking to Lawrence?
Yeah, you're speaking to Lawrence, yeah.
How are you, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm not too bad yourself.
I'm good, mate, thank you.
Fantastic. Are we looking to get the deposit set up and the payments all done now, are we?
Yes, please, mate. Just the deposit and then the time for the payments. Bear with me a second, I just need to change something.
No worries, yeah. Is it the GCSE maths we're doing as well, with it, yeah?
GCSE maths and so what is the course length for the maths?
So the GCSE maths including exams as well as doing the course for the veterinary science access.
Okay, so we're doing veterinary science access, and how long is the course for?
So you have full course access for 24 months.
Ah, that's it. Yeah, it's 24 months. So I've got 20. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was just. Yeah. That's what I was asking. That's what I was asking. I've got up to 24 months to complete it, so I can take it at my own pace. Let me just put the dog away, mate.
You can pass it quicker. You can pass it quicker 6 months.
Yeah, I don't think I'll pass it that quick, mate. I'm not that much of a fast learner, if I'm honest.
Perfect. So for me to do this for you now, okay, I'm just going to set everything up and send you out a link. To do that, I'm just going to confirm your details. Was your first name Philip and surname Robinson?
Yes.
Okay. And the spelling's not the usual way, Philip with 2 L's, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your date of birth, please, Philip?
14th of May 1987. Right, 1 second. Oh, where's my controller?
Lovely. And what's the best email address for yourself?
Bear with me a sec. Yeah, I've had some
Yeah,
issues.
let me go back 1 second then, and I will send it to your new email.
Yeah.
Give me 1 moment.
Yeah, I've had some issues with my phone. Some payments do go through on my phone, and then some things work, and then sometimes the phone crashes. And
Yeah, what was your date of birth again, please, Philip?
bear me a second. It is 104051987.
Sorry, no, what was your date of birth, sorry?
14051987.
1405.
Yeah.
So that's the 14th of is it May?
Yeah.
Lovely, okay, yeah, perfect. And it's Philip Dot Robinson 02.
02, yeah.
02, yeah. Lovely, let's try it again. Right, shall I resend this to you now quickly?
No worries.
Right, I've sent you a new link to your email and text as well, just in case of it. If you're going to issue them through to your email shortly.
There it is, yeah. I got it in my email.
Lovely, yeah. No worries, yeah. So open up that email for me. Click
Yep.
on the link and it'll bring up sort of the financial agreement for you.
Do I click in application terms and conditions? What are the terms and conditions?
I'd say pretty much everything we've just gone through is a credit agreement, so you can have a little read through if you want to. We're not in any rush, to be honest with yourself. Obviously, it's about making sure you're happy. Terms and conditions, obviously, you've got to run through them. By all means, you certainly can. Pretty much summed up is just to go through is just make sure you pay on time. It's a credit agreement. Does require a soft credit check, 14-day cancellation and cooling off period for it. So there are a couple of things on
Well,
there.
apparently, I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm not gonna read the terms and conditions because I don't understand most of what's being said, which is the reason for my English. So the data protection part, cancellation, other terms, copyright, payments, waivers, appeals, transfer and cause, public responsibilities.
Yeah, T's and C's basically just go on sort of everything that can happen upon your enrolment. It'll go through what your next steps are. What happens if you don't do your course? So within 14 days you can cancel. After that, you can look to swap courses should it not be something that you want to do anymore, and so on and so forth. Loads of different little mini T's and C's, obviously they're all available to you. Should you wish, you can contact our customer service team and run through that with them, okay?
Yeah.
Lovely. Once you're happy with everything,
Just enter my card just enter my payment details in, yeah?
Yes, and don't reach card details out because the calls are recorded for training and marketing purposes.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Just pop the details in.
Yeah.
It's going to ask you the card details twice, so don't be shocked if when this happens. First one is to pay the $9.99 deposit, okay?
Okay.
This, you can use any card for it, and then what you'll do is you'll pay your deposit. The next one, let's pop you that link. Then you'll then put your details in again, and that will then submit your details off for that soft credit check as mentioned with premium credit, okay?
Okay, so it's not a brute force attack that I'll be going through if these things
What will
happen.
happen is it will make you verify the payment. Once you've done the $9.99, it'll go onto your banking app, you click verify the payment, then you go back onto the link, you'll come with a little white page, it'll say processing, then it'll bring up part 2 of the link.
I don't use a banking app.
You'll then just put your details.
Bear me a second, slow down. Please slow down. I don't use a banking app. I only use online banking. I don't use the banking applications.
That's fine. If you have a way to verify, sometimes when it asks you to verify payments, and sometimes you can send text to your mobile.
Yeah.
There's different ways to do it.
Order confirmation. Thank you for your order. Credit agreement. Pre-contractual explanations. Can you explain these to me, please?
Okay, so you've done part 1 there for me, okay? So that means the deposit's come through.
Yeah.
All that's going to happen now for yourself is you're going to pop the details in again. This is now to submit your details across the premium credit for a soft credit check to ensure you get accepted. If it does get accepted immediately, all it means is they're going to send it for a check or a manual underwriter, like with any credit agreement. This is just normally verifying sort of address or address or person. So they ask you just for a picture of like your ID and sort of a utility bill to prove you live at that address.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just pop your details down again, we'll get that all done.
Bear me a second, let's go get a bank statement. I think I've got one here. Yeah. Can terms and conditions be amended?
What was I?
Can terms and conditions and stuff be amended by when it comes down to an agreement between two people? If there's something within the credit agreement or anything that you don't like within the terms and conditions, can they be argued and then changed on a discretionary level if the person doesn't accept them but wants to go through with it? So for example, data protection, like data collection and stuff like that. Notice when you collect data collection and then
so when you do sort of data collection and stuff like that, you can always go through and take a look at basically taking your details off for data collection. You can always do that. Data collection is probably the only one where T's and C's you can basically go around, because obviously there's the new rules around sort of data sharing, GDPR, etc.
Yeah.
So there's so many new laws about that. It's probably the only one where, yes, I would say you're not happy with any of the details regarding sort of data sharing, anything like that. You can always contact the Spring and just get your details taken off or stuff like that.
Thank you. Order.
Obviously, I've got taken off our end as well.
Okay, so you cannot, unless you actually contact the company itself, not you. I cannot renegotiate unless I contact the company myself, like the actual head of the company, as opposed to you. I cannot renegotiate any terms and conditions. They have their set. You can't change them.
I can't really advise on that. My sort of knowledge of it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. I was letting you get out of that one by saying you'd have to speak to somebody else. But
yeah,
I've got
if you're looking to do that, the only people I can recommend speaking to is raising that point with the customer service team.
Yeah.
Just saying, I'd like to do that, and then what they'll do is they can then raise a ticket in a case, and then they can do their own.
I was just thinking if I sign up to anything in the future that might not be with you, if it is absolutely possible, because it has to be an agreement, and 9 times out of 10 when we see accept terms and conditions, such as when you sign up to Facebook or anything like that, you go on stuff and you go, yeah, I've got to accept them, because if you don't click the I accept link, you won't get a Facebook account, for example. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there are different things. Like I said, the data sharing is probably the only one that I'm 100% sure you would be able to sort of put your preferences down for.
Yeah.
Data sharing is now sort of customer driven, not company driven.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very much in favour of yourself rather than in sort of favour of us.
Okay, I've got order receipt. Thank you for choosing Learn Direct.
Yeah, lovely. I've got it through here, my side, Philip. Okay, so that's all been accepted.
Yeah.
Okay, you're now on your way to getting your veterinary nurse, to your veterinary science access course and your GCSE maths. Right. Okay, like I said, you'll have a 14-day cancellation period. You're going to get a call within 72 hours from our student support team. They basically just help you and guide you through your sort of user interface, make sure you're happy with how to locate your sort of tutor, how to locate your sort of online course material, everything like that. Okay, so just there to make sure you get off to the best possible start.
Okay, thank you very much for your help, Lawrence.
Lovely. No, it's been a pleasure speaking to yourself.
When can I start? When can I start?
You can start the course straight away. We'll send you your log information via a no-reply at learndirect.com email.
Yeah.
You should get those sort of pretty quickly. They normally get sent across. If you haven't had it by sort of this evening, just send me a text, and what I'll do is I'll have them manually sent out to you, okay?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, Lawrence.
No worries.
Thank you for calling, mate. Thank you for your help. Bye-bye.
No worries. Absolute pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you. Bye. Well, that was that. That's me signed up. It's a soft credit check, so it doesn't go through a hard one. so it's not too bad. And my credit ain't even that great, to be fair. My credit score is just an average credit score. But yeah, as I was talking about Charlotte, she was like, Mum. But I'll never forget when it was her first birthday, and I had nothing. I had no money. I was on X amount of deductions on job seekers allowance, and I was already ill, but I was waiting to get doctor's appointments and stuff like that. And it wasn't until they seen how ill I was during the assessment period with Charlotte, they decided to do something and get me medicated and stuff. But as I was saying, I'll never forget, the circus came to town, and it was like, somebody says to me, right, okay, let's get you sorted. And somebody said to me, it was like a message in my head, like, this is for you, Philip, for you and Charlotte, so you can have some sort of birthday, because I was on £93 a fortnight, so £180 a month. So you're looking at £15 gas, £15 electric, 20 quid dog food, travel fare, eating, plus trying to run a business of buying and selling mopeds, all whilst mentally unwell. So you was buying tools, you was buying stuff, plus whatever Tamsin needed, she would have to give me a phone call and say, can you bring some milk or some nappies, etc. I mean, I only had one treat, and that was 2 treats a week, which was a coffee on the way down while I was waiting for the train to change for the changeover, so it gave me something to do, and a coffee from the way back at the changeover. The local authority paid for my train tickets to get to where I needed to get to. So yeah, and then every now and again I'd have a 10. I used to smoke weed. I used to have a 10 weed. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, and the circus came to town. They just put online on Facebook. 6 lads needed, 40 quid. Come down, and fuck me, I did not graft that hard since I was a young lad. And I'm talking about these, and I'm not a big guy, right? So I know it's cold, right? And I know if I don't look like I can lift all that weight and I can shift and move about and get shit done, they are not gonna fucking go, we're not picking you. It's like the Great Depression times where they just go, you, and you. People just turned up. I got there you had to be there for 6 o'clock. I was there at 5:30 with the early lads. So the early lads have already started packing down the entrance part. I turned up, and the guy just turned around and said, you on there. Then he noticed I layered up, and he noticed I was quite, small. And he was like, fuck's sake, you've got no power in your body. You need to develop some power in your body. And anyway, yeah. Those curtains that you have to hook up and take down, and you've got to pack this shit down, because these people are not fucking about. They've got one show to finish. They've got to get to the next town by the next day, to have everything set up in 2 days, to then get everything running again, to then take it all down again. Do you know what I mean? The show is quick, right? And these stakes, you have to watch the thing pull out the ground. You have to carry all these fucking poles, put them on the lorries, stack all the chairs up, dismantle the seating area, take down whatever it is you have to take down. Then you've got to fold them up, then you've got to roll them up. And do you know what? I was that exhausted. And bearing in mind, I'm not even talking about my food shopping bill. I didn't even go out and buy food. Anybody that remembers will see that I didn't buy food. And I've come back, and I am exhausted. I could not stand, I could not walk. Do you know when your body hits that peak of where you just want to pass out? Like, you just want to pass out and hit the floor. I hit my head off something, which didn't help. I was like, oh yeah, that made me worse. And I'm trying to walk to my push bike that I've tied up, and I was like, I can't believe I've got to ride all the way home. I was standing there waiting, I was like, oh no, please don't tell me. And he's gone, 40 quid for you, 40 quid for you, 40 quid for you. Right, and then he's looked at one of me and one other guy, and I think he either felt sorry for me, and the other guy got 30 quid because he turned up late and he didn't arrive with the early crew, and he arrived late, and then I got 40 quid, and that money went on a smash birthday cake for Charlotte in her high chair. I'd already ordered her a little clip-on bear, the same thing that my granddad Walker gave to me to keep away nightmares. It had a little Australian dangly hat on it and everything, and I sat her on my knee and I said, look, these little charms here are to help keep away nightmares. And I sat her on my knee, and you know, it was very like special. And she sat in a high chair and she had a smash chair. I went to her house and bought one of those to help her with sitting and standing and give her a chair of her own. I bought like a little chair, and then it had like a little thing on it, made noises, and then we bought some brand new clothes and some brand new bits and pieces, and she had a little birthday party. So I did the best I could for her birthday at the contact centre. And then on the final contact for when she left, I thought to myself, well, this is all the stuff I'd buy her for at home. So I got her a step so she could reach the sink to wash her hands. I bought her a potter. I bought her a load of clothes. I bought her a set of bowling balls and bowling pins. I gave her a photo album, and in the photo album was pictures of mum, dad, grandma, great grandma, granddad, stepmom. Didn't have any photos of my stepdad at the time. Me when I was a kid, me when I'm a little bit older, my photos from my biological father's wedding, teddy bear, and some brand new clothes. And then that was the hardest part, like, you know what I mean? To make sure that she had everything that she needed for her age at that given any given moment in time. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was really, really, really hard. And when I say it was hard, and I sit back and look to my time and I think, if I wasn't wasting time smoking weed, right, and I wasn't wasting my energy, my mental energy on people around me that was saying negative stuff that I felt like I had to answer to, and I just got my head down and carried on doing what I was doing, then the outcome could have been different. But I used to have calls. I'm coming back from a contact centre, I'm getting calls from SumUp and these bank people saying, yo, do you want a POS thing so you can take bank card, or you're going to have to charge you £18 a month, blah 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 blah. I'm like, no. Right, and I'm trying to sell and buy stuff online, and then eBay hit me with freaking funds and fucking everything. So yeah, it kind of all got out of control when I was just buying and selling motorcycle parts, or trying to build a race motorbike. The idea was build a race motorbike, take it to one race, get a novice sticker put on the top, have it on its paperwork, the fact that it's entered a race, the motorbike's entered a race, the motorbikes came X possession in a race, and then the bike then goes up for sale for, like, you know, he spent say £800 to £1,000 on it. He then put the bike up for £2,000 because it's got a little bit of credentials, it's been entered before, and the person who owned the bike has already met the people that run the competitions, so it'll be easier for the buyer to go into and then go and enjoy a type of lifestyle. But that didn't work. I ended up skint. I needed money. I sold the moped for £3,500, unfinished. I had to send that over to Tammy. I sent other money over to Tammy for Charlotte, and oh man, yeah. But yeah, it wasn't easy. But yeah, and then somebody else called me and said, "Oh, do you want to do a day's work shifting and unloading a lorry for me?" And I didn't work smart. I just grafted. You know what I mean? I just got the lorry unloaded as fast as I can, chucked the shit out as fast as I can, stacked it as fast as I can, got everything done as fast as I can. The same with when I was working at Adico last year, and then like every like week or every couple of weeks I'd have like a mental breakdown and start hearing stuff, and I'd hear the wall, but the wall wasn't the problem. The wall isn't the problem sometimes. The problem is the thoughts and the ideas that generate in my head, and the impulsiveness is the problem. The wall, the voices from the wall are annoying because they shouldn't be there, but then you feel like everybody else can hear them too. And it's like, why isn't nobody like saying anything about this? And it's almost as if like somebody's hiding, you've got dead bodies stored in the wall and they're talking through it. It's horrible. And then I couldn't go back to work after that. I just couldn't. I just couldn't go back to work. You felt alienated by some staff because of what people said about you. You felt like, you know, he's a tramp, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's a drug addict, he's a waste man, he's this type of person. And then it all just comes to a head, you know what I mean? So then because you think blue, which I do, I think blue and red at times, but I just grafted my arse off, like, you know what I mean? And everything I was doing right was seemed as doing something wrong. I was punished for doing the right thing every time. Every time I turn up to work, so I'm turned up to work for a contract, haven't I? You know what I mean? I want to actually get a place within the company while I'm on the agency, but people didn't like it because they thought, well, you're going to get the job because you're white and you speak English. I'm not white. It's not because I'm white and I speak English. I didn't have no favours from cleaners providing me headphones or providing me with some nice comfy earmuffs. I didn't get no favours like that. I've met a bloke who had some tattoos on him, and I let him in straight away. I said, look, these guys will not tell you this is where your expo is. So on your expo it tells you how many pallets get stacked onto the crate. So they will not tell you. You'll have to find it out for yourself. So I used to induct people, and people were like, well, who the fuck does he think he is? I'm like, look, I'm just doing my job the only way I know how. So I'm getting like, so when it comes down to winding down in the shift, I'd normally turn around and say, if I'm on the line and you're stacking these boxes, which was my job to stack pallets, you'd stack the pallets and then you'd go out, and then half hour before the end of the shift, I would go over to the loading bay, ask them to get a shitload of pallets out, so then they can get some pallets out, load it up with pallets, and then we would load the line up for the next shift to come out. And then when the next colour shift comes on, they've got the pallets that they need, the shrink wrap that they need, and it makes a smooth shift change, as opposed to when the shift change gets there, and then because the amount of times I started a shift, and you start a shift, all the boxes are piled up, they all fall on the floor, you know what I mean? And and the line, depending on how fast the line is or how many boxes are coming down that line of different items, you've got to then catch up on all of them, and then you've got to sift and sort them out. So it's like you have to switch straight on. And you know you're going to be there for like fucking 12 hours as well. 12 hours, 4 days a week, mental health issues, no sleep, feeling like you were so dirty that you weren't allowed to use the company's cutlery when you were trying to eat, and so therefore you couldn't buy yourself some decent food to fuel your body. And then every time you started getting it and you started doing something, for example, I took 1 month's wages and bought a Jaguar, and the idea was to replace it. The guy turned around and said to me that, oh yeah, it's just the glow plugs have gone, need the glow plugs changing. I want 800 quid for the car. So I talked him down to 5, I paid him 5, opened the bonnet, the glow plugs had snapped, the DPF filter needed changing, and there was a shitload of engine clear codes that needed looking into. In the end I ended up scrapping the car. It was a white Jaguar X-Type, senior executive, SE. Beautiful, white leather interior, heated seats, forward and backwards, everything. Electric windows, 7-disc CD changer in the boot, CD changer with a built-in sat-nav. It was old, but it was before its time. The only thing that it had was a little tear in the seat which needed doing. On the interior was immaculate. I ended up scrapping it in the end. But yeah, absolute nightmare. But it was a Jag 2-litre diesel X-Type. It was fucking lovely. Never even got it started either. But I'd have to take the whole head off to get the snap glow plug out. Or buy a specialist tool that cost nearly £500-600. I looked at it and was like, do you know what? I just can't be doing with the aggro. I've been sold a bag of shit. But then again, what did you expect for £500 for a Jag X-Type, you know what I mean? But it was advertised, originally it was advertised at 1,000 something, and then it was reduced to 800, and then I got it reduced down to 500. Because it was advertised at around £1,200 originally, I just thought the person was having a hard time selling it, so I dropped the price down. I didn't ask myself why is the reason why he was having a hard time selling it. I just thought people didn't have the money. So yeah. And then I bought the gasket, and then I looked at the head gasket. The gasket looked like it had been replaced with gasket sealant, and I was like, oh. And then there was a woman down the road who said she's a part-time budget mechanic. So I said to her while I was at work, I said to her, can you have a look at the cylinder head, and can you change the cylinder head gasket for me? And while you're in there, can you get the glow plug out and just pull it out from the inside, you know what I mean? Because you have to go open the head anyway, so you might as well just go in there and pull the glow plug out. Because I think what happened was the glow plug got really hot, so the engine's been hot and the engine's been thrashed, and the glow plug had swollen. Because even when I got a slide hammer on it to pull it out, the rest of it out, you just couldn't pull it out. It was as if like there was a bar and it just stuck, so I couldn't pull it out. So she turned around and said, yeah. I said, oh, I've got the Haynes manual, so you know the timing marks, you know all the timing chain positions, you know all the torque settings and all that lot. She was like, great, thank you. Gave her the book. She had a look through it, asked her for the book back. She called me a bastard, and then didn't bother doing it. She said, we can work on it together if you want. I said, yeah, okay then. What I'll do is I'll strip it down to get access, and then you can do the actual cam chain timing, because you're used to it, you're a home mechanic and you've got more experience than what I have, and then you can do the head gasket change. And when it came around to said, because obviously I was earning money, so I could earn enough money. I was being paid £1,800 a month near enough, if I could manage a full shift, a full month, but it was really difficult for me to manage a full month. So I turned around and said, I'll give you she turned around and said, how much do you really want to pay? I turned around and said, well, I don't really want to pay no more than £300 to £400, because that's how much it used to cost back in the 90s to change this head gasket. She turned around and said, yeah, okay then. She said she'll do it for £300 providing I took the rocker cover off and gained access to the cam chain and removed all the ancillaries and the pipes. And I started, then I texted her and said, when can you do it? Then she said, next week. Then I said, can you do it again? Then she said, next week. Then she said, next week, next week, next week, next week. But the manual advises to take the engine out, to change the cam chain cover. No. What you want to do is, it's a long process, but you want to take off the wing, the inner tray, as if like you're changing a clutch, right? So you take off the wheel, the inner tray, and if you can remove the wing, which I know on the old Jag XJ6s you could do, you remove the wing and then you get access and you should be able to see everything. The only thing that will be there is the top strut, the bottom strut, and whatever comes at the front to support it, where the axle and everything goes onto the frame. From when I stripped an XJ6 when I was about 16. Met my first rusty bolt when I was 16, laying underneath trying to grind a fucking bolt off on a Jaguar XJ6. But yeah, and then they didn't bother calling me back or getting it done, so I just gave up on it. Because it's not that I didn't have the confidence to do it, it's the fact that I didn't have the experience, and I knew that if I got the timing wrong and then turned that key, I'd be questioning myself, did I do everything right? Is the gasket right? Is it torqued down right? Did I miss anything? Are the push rods right? Are the valve timings right? Did I upset the valve timing? Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do this? Where somebody with the experience will go, well, I took the head off with the cam chain from the bottom and I didn't have to touch the timing or the valve shims. So I can set that aside. And I know somebody from experience, when you come down to reassemble it, whilst you're reassembling the head anyway, you might as well check and look at the valves themselves. Ask the customer and tell them, I said, do you want a valve check while you're there? Such as like, do you want your valve springs, your valve guides, your valve seals, and your valve clearances. Minimum should be the valve clearances need checking and then sorting back out. And then obviously if you need your valves relapping, then you have the valves relapped. But that should be like standard with a head gasket change, at least to include the valve clearances, because then you know it's all done properly. But it was just somebody that had more experience and more confidence in doing that to an engine. I don't mind doing that while I've got somebody, I wouldn't have mind doing that while I had somebody who was qualified, who's changed millions of them, right, and done it millions of times, and then you can turn around and say, yeah, that's right, and actually guide me through it, not just sit there and go, I'll wait until he's put it back on and when it don't work, and then I'll tell him what he did wrong. As is supposed to, if you can, they can see me doing something wrong, stop me there and then, and say, right, okay, you've done that right, this is where you went wrong, okay, you've read this meter reading wrong, and if you put this shim in there, when you put that back on the engine, that shim's going to fall out and go inside the valves of the engine, for example, just an example, even though the shim won't come out because it's underneath a cap. But yeah, then they tell you how to check shim awareness if the shim's worn or anything like that. So yeah. And then I was planning on cleaning the car up, so changing the interior of the inside, having the car cleaned, and then putting the car back on the market for about £8 after it had a clean MOT and everything else sorted. It was a manual as well, 2 litre diesel manual. Oh. But the DPF valve, no, for like the thing here, what they've done is they've put a fucking crushed a Coca-Cola can inside it to stop it working, to increase the power. So you know somebody's fucking ragged it. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go do my math course now. I'm going to let Lottie back out of the cage. I'm going to go get something to eat. I think a couple of slices of toast will do because I'm feeling really tired, but yeah. Yeah. Can never forget hard work. And then I got 30 quid for the second job, which was like to help me. And that was my daughter's birthday, pretty much. I took my benefits, I went without weed that week. I took 50 quid for my benefits and then the £70 of all the money that I earned and spent it all on her birthday. I give you everything, girl. I give you everything. See? I believe that you can prosper and to do anything. But yeah. Right. Anyway, this isn't no longer going to be my like YouTube channel. This is just going to be like my therapeutic channel. To just talk and then show you all this shit that we go through. When the government or somebody decides to go, do you know what, I'm just going to pick on this kid just because I can. And I believe that one day, just one day, those that do it to us will have it done back to them tenfold. One day. But anyway, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee, get something to eat, and then we'll come back and do some gaming. Peace, love. That's in a bit. Don't love you in a gay way.